Hey, what's up everybody? Clifton here with CliftonWP. Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wanted to add a dark mode option to your website, then in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do exactly that using the Kadence theme and the Kadence Pro theme add-on. The dark mode color switch is a very lightweight dark mode feature that is in the Kadence Pro theme add-on. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to have a color switch floated on your website that will allow your site users to change the color of your website. And you can set those colors to be a light version of the website to go to a dark version of the website. So if you guys are ready to learn how to use the dark mode color switch so your site visitors can have a little bit of fun on your website, then let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so here we are with a fresh install of WordPress. What you're looking at is the default 2023 theme. What we're going to do is we're going to do this from the beginning. So we're going to go ahead and install the Kadence theme, then install Kadence Blocks, and then we will upload the Kadence Pro theme add-on. We'll build out a page and then implement the dark mode color switch. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with installing the theme. First, we're going to go to the dashboard, go to Appearance, go to Themes, click on Add New, and then you'll do a search for Kadence. Here's the Kadence theme over here. Go ahead and click on Install and Activate. So now we have the Kadence theme installed. If you go to the front end of the website, you'll now see that the Kadence theme has now replaced the default WordPress 2023 theme. Next, we're going to go ahead and install the Kadence Blocks. So go back to the dashboard, go to Plugins, click on Add New, and we're going to do a search for Kadence Blocks. Here is the Kadence Blocks. Click on Install Now and Activate. Okay, so now we have Kadence Blocks installed. Next, we need to go ahead and upload the Kadence Pro theme add-on. Now, if you don't have the Kadence Pro theme add-on, it is a paid plugin, so you will need to pick it up. If you go to the Kadence website, which you can do by going to cliftonwp.com/Kadence, that is an affiliate link, so when you get there, anything that you buy will generate a commission, which will go to support the channel. So thank you very much in advance for doing that. Now, when you get here, you'll be presented with two options. There is the Essential Bundle, and then there's also the Full Bundle. However, if you just want the Kadence Pro theme add-on by itself, there's an option for that as well. Now, the benefit of getting the bundle is that with the bundle, you do get the additional plugin. So, for instance, the Essential Bundle will give you the Kadence Pro theme add-on, but you'll also get the Kadence Blocks Pro, which will give you about 10 to 11 additional blocks to work with in building out your pages. And then you get access to the Pro Starter templates and the Kadence custom fonts. The full bundle gives you access to the Kadence Blocks Pro, Kadence Pro theme add-on, the Pro Starter templates, the Kadence custom fonts, in addition to all the other plugins that Kadence has to offer. And all the plugins that Kadence has to offer are actually very, very good plugins. You also get access to all their future products, which they're always working on, and you get access to that for no additional cost. So I typically recommend going with the bundles if you're going to get engaged with Kadence. They also have a lifetime full bundle as well, where you make one payment and you no longer make any other payments, but you have access and continued access to their plugins and all the future products that they create. And the benefit of the bundles, all three of them, is that you also get the ability to be able to use them on unlimited websites. So it's a great value for the investment. Now, if all you want is the Kadence Pro theme add-on, which is all we really need for this specific tutorial, then you can just go to Products, click on View All Products, and you will see the Kadence Pro theme add-on on here for $59. So that will give you access to all the pro features, including the dark mode color switch, which we'll be talking about today. So you can choose any one of them. All of them will work for you. You can choose to just get the pro theme add-on, or if you would like, you can also go to the premium bundles and choose to get the Essential Bundle and the full bundle or the lifetime bundle. Okay, great. So once you've picked up your Kadence Pro theme add-on, then you can go ahead and log into your account. You'll see the Kadence Pro plugin premium add-on option here. If you've got the full bundle, then you have access to all of these other plugins. Go ahead and download the Kadence Pro theme add-on. And once you've downloaded it, it's now time for us to upload that into our website. So we're going to go back to our site, make sure we're in plugins, and click on Add New. And then we're going to go ahead and upload the plugin choose File, select the Kadence Pro Theme add-on, and install. Okay, once it's installed, click on Activate. Once you've installed it, you will need to add your license key, which I've already added. So just go to Appearance, go to Kadence, and you'll see the Kadence dashboard. And if you scroll down, you'll see all the pro features that are available to you. The one that we're going to be working on in this tutorial is going to be the color palette switch, which will allow us to create a dark mode for our website. So just go ahead and toggle that on. Okay, now that it's on, we're now ready to go ahead and build out our page and implement the dark mode on our site. Now, before we build out our page, it's very important to understand that the color palette switch is simply allowing you to switch between the available color palettes in your Kadence theme. And all you're really doing is you're giving your site visitors a way to be able to do that from the front end of your website. So if you want to leverage the color palette switch, you're going to need to have a good understanding of how the global color palette in Kadence actually works. So let's just quickly head over there, take a look at it, and then we'll come back and we'll start building out our page and apply a color palette switch to it. So if you go from here under Appearance, if you click on Customize, that'll take you to the customizer. Or if you're on the front end of the website and you click on the Customize in the WP Admin toolbar, that will also take you to the customizer. When you get to the customizer, go ahead and click on Colors and Fonts, and then select Colors. Here is where you'll have access to the global palette, and you'll notice that we have 3 palettes available. So you can set your website to adapt any one of these palettes. There's also a color palette preset here where there are some preset colors that you can choose from. Okay, so let's go ahead and just temporarily set the color palette for the first one to the default, and we'll set the color palette for the second one to one of these options here. So let's choose this one because this is kind of like a dark mode. Okay, so what's going to be happening with the dark mode color palette switch is that we're giving the site visitor a way to switch between one of these palettes. So maybe this is the light version, and then when they click on the control, then it will switch to the dark version like that. Okay, except we'll have a better dark version than this. Okay, so that's all that's really happening. To create our own custom dark mode, we need to understand what each one of these colors represents on the site, and that will give us an easier way for us to apply our dark mode color scheme. So let's just use palette 1 as an example. When you go to the global palette, there are going to be 9 colors that are available to you. The first 2 colors are highlight colors, so your buttons and your links will adapt these colors. The next 4 colors that you see apply mostly to the text on the website, with the darkest one for your titles and headings. The strong text is going to be for the colors that are applied to the content of your website, and then the medium text is typically applied to your navigation, and then you have what's called a subtle text, which you can use for things like block quotes or testimonials, but you can self-apply these yourself. The last 3 colors are actually background colors. So in this particular scheme, you can notice that this is a light scheme for background colors. The furthest one at the end is going to be your white color. You're going to see this in mostly as the background that's set against the text of your website. So the main text, typically in the containers or in the body of the website, is where you'll see that. If you use this as an example, you'll see here that this is white text. So if I change this text to red, then you can see that that's changed now. Okay, let's go ahead and set that back. All right, the next 2 colors over here, the next one, very next one from the white one, this is for the background. It's a lighter background that's set against the site. So typically if you have padding on your website or padding on a page, this is the color that you're going to see as the background for that padding, which is creating the space between the container, right, and the header and footer of the site. Then the final color here, which is the subtle background, typically this is applied to the page headings of a site. So if we go to the sample page as an example, and I change this color, let's change it to red, like a red color like that, you'll see it here. It's typically the background for the page headers of your site. Okay, so let's go ahead and reset it. So now we understand that these last 3 colors are background colors. These middle 4 colors are text colors, and the two colors in front are our highlight colors, we now have a better understanding on how to create a dark mode. It's just about inverting those colors in one of the available palettes. Okay, so now that we get it, let's go ahead and create an actual page that will allow us to clearly see the dark mode color switch in action once we implement it. To create our page, we can go to the new link in the WP admin toolbar and select page, or you can just go back to the dashboard, go to pages and click on add new. We will call this page our dark mode switch page. That's just the title of the page. That's not the actual dark mode color switch. And then we'll go to the page settings over here and we'll set up our settings. So we want the page title to be disabled. We want a full width page layout. The content style will be unboxed and the content vertical padding will be disabled. Next, we're going to go ahead and add a row to our page. So you can do that by clicking in the type a / to choose a block and just typing a / and you'll see some of the options available. One of them is going to be the Kadence row layout, or you can use the block inserter and insert the row layout from here, or you could also use the plus sign over here and select the row layout from here as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Next, we're going to select a 2-column row. And for our 2-column row, we're going to go ahead and set this to be a full width row. And then the inside columns, we want that to take on the content inner width of the site. All right, that looks good. Let's go ahead and get rid of this extra / there. All right, excellent. Now that we have our row set up, let's go ahead and extend the padding. I'm just going to drag the padding out here to 3x large and drag it out here to 3x large. You can also do this by going to the block settings on the right hand side. Select the block, make sure you have the block settings icon highlighted, and then under the row layout options, if you go to advanced, you will see the visual padding and margin options here. And if you just click into any of these and start dragging it around, you can also set up your padding that way as well. So I just want a 3XL to give enough space here. All right, the next thing that we want to do here is just add some content to our row. So let's go ahead and add an image. I'm going to click on the plus sign here. And we're going to search for advanced image from Kadence. And I'm going to select an image. All right, and just drop that in there. Then we also want to add some text over here. So I'm going to click on the plus sign. I'm going to grab the advanced text and just put some dummy text. And then we also want some description text. So let's just go here to the Lipsum site, and we're just going to grab just some of this text. We don't need a whole bunch. All right, so now we have some text, we have an image, and we have our row. I'm just going to set up a few settings here. So I'm going to come over here and I want the alignment of everything to be in the middle. And just for fun, let's go ahead and add a button. So do a / type advanced, and you're going to see advanced buttons. And we'll just say get started. Now, this way we have a decent amount of colors to play with and use as our visual guide. I'm going to set my button here to be to justify to the left using the short menu over here. Okay, so now we have a featured area. Next, let's add another area, but we'll offset that area with some different colors. So I'm going to click on the plus sign over here, grab a row layout, and this time I'm going to select a 3-column row. And I'm also going to allow this row to be full width. We're also going to give this row a 3x padding on the top and the bottom. And then we're going to set this, we're going to give this row a background color. So select the row, move over to the right. Under the block settings, select style, which is the second tab. Click on the background color, and we're going to assign this color. We're going to assign it to the lighter background, which is the second to the last color in the 9-color palette that we have. So just select that as a lighter background like that. It's perfect. And then we're going to come over here to the plus sign, click on the plus sign, and we just add some extra text in here. So let's use an info box. So search for info box, add that in there. And then we're going to go ahead and do that 2 more times. So I'm just going to duplicate this, click on the ellipsis, duplicate, and then I'm going to drag it over. Then the next thing that I want to do is I want to add another section, and this section will be another row layout, a 2-column row layout. We're going to do 3x large. I'm going to set the inner content width to adapt from the theme. I'm also going to do that on this one as well. That way everything is brought into the center like that. Okay, and on this one, we're just going to do a different set of content. So let's just go ahead and do an info box. Okay, and in this particular info box, under the advanced tab, I'm just going to add some bottom margin like that, and then I'm going to duplicate it 2 times. And then I'm going to replicate all these blocks, select them all, copy them, go over to the second column, do a paragraph, Command V, and now I have another section that we can look at. Okay, so this looks good. All right, and then a final section that we'll have is just going to be a duplicate of this section. So I'm going to go back to the very top, select this section. I'm going to click on the ellipsis, duplicate, and then I'm going to move what I duplicated down all the way to the bottom. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it switch columns. It's very easy to do. Open up your list view, go to the row layout, select one of these sections, and in the short toolbar over here, click on the arrow to move it across like that. Okay, so now we have some sections in our site that we just built really quickly. All right, this looks really good. Let's go ahead and add one more. So I'm going to do a plus sign. I'm going to select a row layout. This time I want a 1 column row. I'm going to make the row full width, and I'm also going to set the inner width to use the theme's content inner width. Okay, I'm going to pull this down to about 3x large again, and this time I'm going to set this background color to the 3rd one, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to click on the plus sign. We're going to add an advanced text, and we'll make this a call to action. Set that to the center, hit enter, and we'll just type some additional text here. We're also going to set that to the center, and then we'll just add a button, / advanced button, and get started now. So now we have our page built. Now there's a few things that we want to make sure that we've done. One, we want to make sure that every single section, even though it's a white section, every single section has a background assigned. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the background over here, and I'm going to move over to style for this row, and I can see that it doesn't have a background color assigned, so I'm going to go ahead and assign it this white color. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. This already has an assigned color. I want to make sure that this one, anything that has a white background, has a specifically assigned color. So I'm going to select that row or this section. Let's set this to full width as well. Select this row, go to style, change the background color, and make sure that the white color is selected. Scroll down furthermore. Here's another one. Make sure that that background has an assigned color. Make it white. This already has an assigned color, and we are good to go. So now we've built out our page. Go ahead and click and publish the page. And then the one thing that I want to do is I want to set this page to be my home page. To do that, just go ahead and go back to the dashboard, go to settings, go to reading, and under the your home page displays, we're going to change this setting to a static page, and the home page will be our dark mode switch. Save changes, and now when we visit the front end of the website, we now have just a simple layout to be able to use to apply our dark mode color switch to. So next, we now need to go and create our dark mode color scheme. To do that, go to Customize, go to Colors and Fonts, click on Colors, and we're going to go to our global palette, and I want you to shift over to palette number 2, which should be the same as palette number 1 in terms of colors. So we'll go to palette number 2 and we'll start making our changes. So what we want is a gold and black theme. So to be able to do that, we're going to start from the left and progress to the right. So first, our colors for the highlight colors is going to be a gold accent color. So let's just select our color here. I'm going to go ahead and find a nice gold. Here's a nice gold color. Okay, so you can choose any color that you want, but for me, I'm going to use the gold. And then the second accent color is going to be similar, but just a slightly darker version. Looks good. And then our text. So on our light mode of our site, the text is all dark. What we're going to do now is we're going to make our text light. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. The strongest text is actually going to be a very white color. So let's start off with white, see how that looks. And then the next color here is going to be slightly off white. So for that one, I'm going to go F9, 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 slightly off white. And then I'm just going to keep progressing, making the colors more and more off-white as I go. So I did F9. Now I'm going to do F6, F6, F6 for that one. And then for my subtle text color, let's go F2, 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 okay? So now I've taken care of the text. Now let's take care of the background. I'm actually going to start with the white or off-white color. We're going to select that, and I want a dark color. Now I'm not going to go all the way black, so let's just go 030303. Okay, something like that. Okay, that looks good. And then for the next color, I'm going to go let's go 10. Then the next and final subtle background is going to be a little bit lighter. So on this one, let's go 121212. So now we have changed our colors. Now, one thing that you'll notice, now that we've created this dark color scheme, one thing that you'll notice, you notice that our header is still white. Okay, so what we want to do is want to assign our header color either the dark color mode, or if we want it to actually work with the switch, we can actually remove that color entirely. And we can even do the same thing for the footer. So what I want you to do is go to your header settings by going back to the customizer, select the header, and then select the design settings for your general header. You'll see this white color that's been applied by default when you install the Kadence theme. We're going to go ahead and select that. And what I want you to do is under the alpha field, just add a 0. Take out the 1, make it a 0. And your header will take on whatever you set in your color scheme. We're also going to do the same thing for the footer. So I'm going to go back to the footer, go to design. Oh, and the footer is already transparent, so it's great. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and publish this to save the work. And now that this is saved, now we can actually go ahead and apply our dark mode color switch to the website so that our site visitors can actually implement this color change themselves. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so before we add the dark mode color switch, you want to make sure that you go back to colors and fonts, go to colors, and make sure that palette number 1 is selected. So this is the light version. This is where we're going to start. So make sure palette number 1 is selected. Palette number 2 is your dark mode. So just make sure by default you have palette number 1 as the default setting. Let's go ahead and publish that. Then the next thing we need to do is actually implement the control for the dark mode color switch. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back here to the customizer, and the dark mode color switch is actually under the general tab. So if you select that and you scroll down here, you'll see the color switch dark mode. Now remember, you have to have the Kadence Pro Theme add-on installed in order to see this. If you don't have it, then you won't see this link. So now that we have it here, go ahead and click on it, and we'll need to enable it. So just click on enable, and let's just quickly go through this. So over here we have the default color palette, which is light. Then you have the OS aware toggle. Basically what this means is that the user's computer settings, they can use their computer settings to choose the default palette. I'm just going to leave that toggled off for now. And then the dark color palette, this is where we're going to tell it which palette is going to be activated when the user selects color switch. So we want this to be palette number 2, where our dark mode is, our dark mode color scheme is. Then if you're going to use a logo, we're using a text logo in this particular tutorial, but if you're using a graphical logo, this is where you can come in and toggle this on and add a logo that's going to be specific for your dark mode. Okay, we're not using that right now, so we'll toggle that off. Then over here is the toggle for whether or not to show the fixed switch. So if you look here on the bottom, once we enabled this, the switch is actually active right over here. So you can see the little moon and the control over here. So that's already on. And then the switch type. So there are several options. You could have the icons, which is what it is right now. You could have the text where it just says light and dark, or you could have icons and text where it will say both. So light and dark. Let's leave it on the icons and text. That way people can read it, but they can also see the icons as well. And then the switch style here can be a button or a switch. Currently it's set up to be a switch, but you could also have it be a button like that, where they could just click the button and it changes. I like the switch. Okay. And then you can choose where you want to have the alignment. So right now it's aligned to the right, but you could also have it aligned to the left in the event that you have something at the bottom there. In this case, we don't have anything at the bottom there, so we will align it to the right. And then the offset, basically how far away do you want it from the edge of the screen. There's a side offset and a bottom offset. And then you have different icon choices. So for the light mode, there's a outline version, a solid version, and then just a completely different icon entirely, where it looks like it's a switch that you're turning on or stepping on. And then here we have the dark mode icon, where you have the outline of the moon, the solid moon, and then the switch as well. Okay. Then the size of your icon. So right now it's at 1.2 m's, but we can increase this and make it a little bit bigger if you think that it's too small for people to see. I like to keep mine at about 1.5, and that way it's nice and a decent size so people can see it. And then here are the switch colors. We're going to leave that alone. You have the fonts and then your light palette title. So right now this says light, and the second one says dark. You can have it be something different, maybe like on and off, whichever one that you want. I like to leave it at light and dark, just make it clear and easy. And then the visibility, you can choose whether this is going to be available on desktop, your tablet, or your mobile device. And we'll leave all this as is. All we really cared about is to make sure that we've enabled it and that we selected the right color palette. Once you're done with that and you're happy with the design of your color switch, just go ahead and hit publish, and then we'll exit out of here. And then we'll test to see if this actually works. Okay, so here's our site. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select dark. And with the dark selected, now you can see it switched it for us to be dark mode. Okay, and then if you select light, and now the light is selected. So now we have the light version. Okay, and this doesn't have to be a dark mode version. You can have it be a completely different color scheme if you want it. But this is how you can apply the color switch. Now, if for whatever reason you feel like maybe people may not realize that they're selecting a light and dark, right? Because when you're selecting this, it's hard to tell which one is on and off. Not a problem. Just go to Customize. Go to General, Color Switch Dark Mode, scroll all the way down. And over here, just change this to icons. Okay, so now you have the icons. Click on Publish. All right, I'm going to refresh my screen. Okay, and when you select the sun, now we are in the light mode. You select the moon, now we're in dark mode. And it just looks like a really cool, very neat switch. Okay, and with that, that will conclude our tutorial on how to implement the dark mode color switch with Kadence and the Kadence Pro Theme add-on. Hey, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If you like the tutorial, just go ahead and hit the like button, and also leave me a comment. If you have any questions about this tutorial, feel free to leave that in the comments below. If you're looking for any links and resources, those will all be in the description. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release new tutorials such as this one. For those of you who have subscribed, I really appreciate you. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out. And for those of you who are liking my content and commenting on the content, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. That is also helping the channel grow. Feel free to share this information, share this video with other people, like and comment on the video. And until the next time, I will see you in the next video.